It can grip you for sure. I can feel it now. Like if I'm too hooked on grab my phone or whatever, like I just leave it at home and I go to a park for like 2 hours or something. Like I was even looking at a flip phone this week. Like,
That's where you really?
Yeah, I was.
Nick Luebke's getting a flip phone.
I'm thinking about it, dude.
Curious how authors became your thing.
Oh, yeah. Long story short is that I worked in kind of video, social media, and I heard about like this TikTok thing. And so I started experimenting on there, just having fun. And I was always reading so many books all the time. That was what I would do like in my free time. And I just shared something that blew my mind. And that one got a lot of views and traction right away. And like people cared about it. So I was like, maybe they care about what I like. And so I just kept doing it. And I kind of came up with the idea of like reading passages that hit me pretty much immediately after that. And then it just happened.
So have you always been a reader? Was this like your mom was like, now Nicholas,
no,
every night you need to be reading in Little Wisconsin?
No. I hated reading because I didn't know I could choose what I read. But I also didn't. It wasn't until I came to the point of like wondering what life was about. Like, why was it hard? And like, what was this struggling about? How do other people get through all this? Like when I first moved to Nashville, I had some baggage I was bringing with me, some like addictions and things. And I remember like one day on the treadmill just being like, I need to listen to motivational videos while I do this. And I listened to one and I just became obsessed with like other people fueling me with their words. And so then I just started looking for books after that. But I didn't like it for the longest time. But once I found these types of books, like about, curiosity about what life's about, I was all in for that.
Wow. Well, you brought 5 books, and we're going to get to those 5 books that are very
go.
special to you. How many books do you think you've read?
I don't know, man. I to be honest, I start a lot of books, and then if it's not hitting, I don't keep going.
Dude, thank you. Because I feel like I got to finish it.
No.
And with my personality, I'm sitting there just like thugging it out.
No.
It takes me forever.
Man.
But if I'm into a book, like I just read Barry Diller's biography, I whipped through that, man. But Siddhartha took me a little while.
Yeah. I mean, I just go with if there's certain books that I can't put down, and that's the one I want to finish.
Amen.
So I don't know. I really have no idea. I don't read like a ton of new books. I'm just kind of always flipping through a book. So
hey, on your Instagram, it looks like you're just buried in them, man.
Well, that's the cool part is like, so it's kind of comparable to like a musician releasing their first album. It's like all the songs they've ever read or written in their entire life. This was like, I already had all these books in my library that I had highlighted like crazy. And so I had a ton of stuff to share, and now I've kind of shared all those. So it's all newer things that I'm finding. So it's a little, at the start, it was very easy because I had a million things to talk about because I had all these books from the past.
That first video you posted that went viral, do you remember the numbers behind it? Mm-hmm. What was it? What kind of impact did it have?
It was like 1.5 million people, I think, in like a week or something, which was crazy.
Saw it?
Yeah.
Wow. And then you quickly started posting frequently after that?
Mm-hmm. Like right after that. That just kind of, I don't know. I've always liked explaining really complicated subjects to people. I don't know why. I feel like I can like simplify them. And I think that moment made me realize that maybe I could do that more. And so, yeah, I came up with the idea like 5 days later to just like read all these highlights that I had found and then expand on them.
Nick, I think that's what the best leaders do. They take very complex things and they make them very simple. Like the smartest people I've met make things sound so simple. And I think as you mature in age, you get more comfortable. You don't feel like you have to use all these big words and these complicated things to prove to yourself
Interesting.
that you're somebody. So kudos to you for doing that.
Thanks, dude.
When was that?
2023. So like January or so.
Dude, and then
a couple years.
Did they keep hitting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I didn't put anything on Instagram for a really long time because I was like, oh, I'm scared. Like all my friends are over there. I was just doing it on TikTok.
You thought they'd make fun of you.
Yeah, for sure.
You looking at it directly into a camera, reading this short quote.
For sure.
They're going to be like, what the hell is Nick doing?
Yeah, 100%. And I was making music before that. And so I was just like, oh man, these people didn't sign up for this. Like, and so that's why I made a whole new account and never told anyone about it. I just did it on the side. And if you found it, you found it, but I never talked about it. I just did it because I wanted only people who wanted to be there. So just recently is the first times I've ever posted on my like personal Instagram about that other page.
But that's the thing. You're like, hey, you have a choice. You can be here or not.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to share my true, authentic self.
Mm-hmm.
If you like it, let's ride.
Yeah, you're
if
doing
you don't,
that too. I love
jump
it.
off.
I love it. Yeah, it's fun. Scary, but fun.
So now you've got 1.2 million followers. What are your friends saying about that now?
I don't know. We don't really talk about it. I mean,
I'm sure they're impressed.
My friends
I'm sure
in
they're
Nashville,
proud.
we talk about it a lot more, I would say. But yeah, I think they're just excited about the impact that it hopefully has, positive impact, you know, because that's kind of like our mission, especially my friends who I've met in Nashville. That's just like the mission we're on. So we're all trying to help each other make more impact for good in this world. So it's kind of fun.
I mean, brother, these posts, they get a lot of love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it blows my mind, dude. It doesn't make any sense. I just like sit in my room and somehow a lot of people get that fed to them virtually or whatever. It's a trippy thing when you really
I mean, how many
think
people
about
comment on a post? Like you post something, you post a quote, it's 10 seconds.
I don't know.
Yes, you do. Don't lie.
No,
to
I
me.
really don't.
Come on.
It ranges. It could be like 200, 1,000, whatever. But
Comments.
yeah. But
People saying, "Oh, Nick, thank you. You're saving me."
But it's not me. It's like I'm just the guy who curates other people's wisdom. So like I'm the one who's willing to search, and then I just bring the best stuff to the front. That's it. And, you know, it's similar to what you're doing here. Like you're finding the people, setting up the time who hopefully will have something to share that will help someone. You know, it's the same thing.
Facilitating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, curating, facilitating.
So you were born in Wisconsin. You got brothers, sisters.
2 sisters, older.
Wow, you're the youngest.
Yeah. Are you?
I'm the middle.
Okay.
I've got an older brother and a younger sister.
Okay.
My little sister, I just got done talking to her. She just came out of a 10-day silent meditation retreat
Whoa.
in Sri Lanka.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I've heard about those.
She was like, man, I thought I was going to quit every single day.
Yeah, I hear that can get dark.
Would you do it?
Yeah, I'd consider it for sure. I love the idea of those things. But it also scares me. I think the thing I'm most inclined to do right now is like a 3-day fast in the dark. No water, no food.
Don't do it.
Did you do it?
Horrible.
Oh no. Oh yeah.
Everyone's like, they're the best thing ever. They're so good.
Post.
You tap into all of this energy. BS. 3-day fast are horrible. They help nobody. They're bad for the GDP of America because you just think about food for 3 days.
Okay, maybe I'm not considering that.
No, do it, and then I'll have you back and we can debrief.
I've done a 3-day fast, but never like in the dark.
Wait,
and without water.
What do you mean in the dark, dude?
Just no sunlight. It's kind of trippy. I saw this guy talking about it and it just intrigued me. So I don't know. It sounds weird.
Tell me more.
I don't know. He says he always hears from God when he does it that way, and everyone he's had do it. I think the thing for me, I've done a couple fasts, but I've only made it like 2.5 days. So, but they've been very different. One was like, I'm fasting and I just keep working and doing my normal life. Like I didn't get anything out of that. But the last one I did where I just made everything about like talking to God, reading about God, everything that made me feel really connected. Journaling, like I had to have a really strong intention for me because the first time I didn't get anything. I was just like really hungry working.
Yeah. You're catching me in a good headspace. I just came off a 2-day unplugged solo retreat.
Oh, nice. How was that? What'd you learn?
My gosh. That's why I went and rented that Frank Lloyd Wright house I was telling you about.
It was after or before? Or that was
it.
Okay.
So your homie from Wisconsin,
yeah,
the good old Frank Lloyd Wright. He's got these houses in Ohio and Wisconsin and Michigan, and there's only a handful of them that you can actually rent. Unbelievable. No matter where you're sitting in the house, you always have a view of nature.
Oh, that's cool.
He wanted the house to feel like it was one with nature. And one half of the house is all doors that completely open, and the other half is all windows that completely open.
Dude.
So wherever you are, man, like you feel like you're outside.
Oh, I need that.
He built this for $6,000 in 1940.
So it's all just design that made it that cool?
He was just incredibly resourceful. That's like $157,000 in today's dollars.
What was it like being off of all the technology?
I think being present is probably the biggest indicator to being happy and to being fulfilled. And it allowed me to do that. I'm so trapped on my Instagram, dude.
Yeah.
It's got me by the balls.
Yeah, it's real.
Does it have you? I mean, you got to be posting all the time and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. It goes in waves for sure.
Are you actually the one posting? Can you tell me that?
Yeah.
So you're posting every day.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just schedule them the night before. It can grip you for sure. And I've had to make some just like intentional. I can feel it now. Like if I'm too hooked on grab my phone or whatever, like I just leave it at home and I go to a park for like 2 hours or something. I got to get away. Like I was even looking at a flip phone this week. Like,
That's where you really?
Yeah, I was.
Nick Luebke's getting a flip phone.
I'm thinking about it, dude. Or just like an Apple Watch that has cellular connection because you can't, there's no apps or whatever. But yeah, it's a real thing, dude. It's stimulating.
Would you hire somebody to just post it so you don't even have to think about it?
Potentially, but I really care about the music that I put behind my posts, and I'm sure I could figure it out. I just need to like kind of release control a little bit. I mean, my wife does a lot of she does the podcast posting and like she does a lot, so she handles some of it.
Shout out to Megan.
Yeah, she's the best. She does so many things, and she's a chef. She does all of it.
You got to go to one, man. Have you had any like downturns with social media? Any moments where it was like, man, my stuff's really not hitting?
Yeah. I mean, the first, I posted on TikTok for like 6 months and then I made an Instagram, like I said, and the first 30 days of posting on that new Instagram with all these videos that were doing really well on TikTok, I was posting them over there and nothing would happen. So that was maybe the most like, I like wanted to quit that. I was like, I don't need to do this Instagram thing, whatever. But my wife was like, keep going. Like it'll work. If people care about it over there, they'll care about it over here. And then it kind of took off. But it was, there was a downturn there. But I think maybe starting a podcast recently is close to that feeling because it's such a different way of getting viewers, I guess, where I'm just so used to like this short form world where it just automatically goes out to people versus the long form. You kind of have to get people, they have to really care about it, which is fair because they're dedicating like an hour of their life.
It's a lot of time.
So
it's a big deal.
I totally understand it.
But you've got great guests, man. It's called Constantly Curious. It's out now. You've had how many guests? 5, 6?
Yeah, we've released like 6.
We've released 6 so far. Amazing guests.
Yeah, it's been insane, dude.
Right. Young Pueblo, Sahil Bloom,
Yep.
John Burke, I mean, big time people, and you're just getting started.
Yeah.
So congratulations
Thanks,
already.
Man. Thanks, man. Same to you. This has been super cool to watch you just like exploring your interests and chasing it down. I love it.
It's a dream, man.
Yeah, it's so sick. I'd do it for free if no one watched. I don't even care.
Bro, thank you. I was talking about this last night with our mutual friend Blake. And it's funny that I told him this. I said, I don't really want people to know this, but here I am talking about it on record is I don't care how many people listen to this.
Yeah.
Dude. The fact that I get to sit and talk with you, Nick, I'm
fun.
having the time of my life, man.
It's so sick.
I do this to capture your story, share your story. I do it for the listener, but if there wasn't any, I'd still do it.
I know. And I think it's a perfect indicator that it's something to keep doing. It's so cool.
It's true, man. I remember so many Friday nights just being out at the bars in New York City or wherever, being like, man, I don't want to be at this bar. Like, I want to be in a podcast studio. And it's funny how your dreams really come true with enough manifestation and time.
Here we are.
I don't think there's much that doesn't. Speaking of bars, you're a sober boy.
I am.
How's that going?
It's amazing, dude. I was thinking about it this morning. Like everything this year, I've been, I think, sober like 325 days.
Let's go. Round of applause for Nick Luebke. Come on. 320 days of sobriety.
Yeah, it's a long time. I never thought I could do that, to be
almost
honest.
a year, man.
Yeah. It's been insane. I mean, we did it. I did it with 4 other guys, and that's the only reason that I did it, because I've tried to do this by myself a million times, and it never worked. And so, because I didn't have integrity with myself, it was like if I said I was going to do something, I didn't always do it. And like, I feel like you just start to lose confidence in yourself when you're that way. You start to just like doubt yourself. You don't believe in yourself, all these things. If you just keep saying you're going to do something and then don't do it, it's the worst.
It's eating away at you.
Yeah, eating away for sure. And I don't even know what the future holds. It's just been an amazing experiment. We all agreed to like 1 year and we'll see what happens, but it's been awesome. I mean, I'm so much more consistent like in my life. It's crazy. I used to be like, I don't know what mood I'm going to wake up in, because it was like, I was just so sensitive to these things, substances and stuff like weed and drinking.
How'd you decide to do it? Why was it on your heart so many times?
Josh Gicker, one of my best buddies,
God
he's
bless him.
He can get you to run through a freaking brick wall, even if you're gonna just bounce off. Doesn't matter. He'll get you to try. He's just the best encourager ever. And he had this idea. He gets these like enthusiastic, incredible ideas, and like he can fire you up. And he was just like, let's get sober for a year. Let's document it, see what happens. And at first I was like, yeah, you should do that. And then like the more I sat with it, I was like, oh, this is a good opportunity. And so we rallied like 3 other people. And yeah, it's been crazy to see the life change for everyone. It's so sweet.
Kudos, man.
Thanks, dude.
I remember the first time I saw you talk about weed.
Mm-hmm.
I was so inspired by that, dude. Because I think people are scared to talk about it still.
Yeah.
And for you to have such a big platform, you've got 1 million eyeballs on you literally on social media, plus that's just on Instagram. And then you're sitting here talking about marijuana and your history with it, and how you're trying to step away from it. Was that a pretty conscious decision? Like, hey, I need to be brave and talk about this?
Probably not. I mean, I'm always thinking like what would have the most benefit and impact for the person watching, but I'm still scared to talk about it. I don't know why, because yeah, like weed is just as common these days as drinking, but it has this taboo nature to it for some reason. And like, I much prefer that over drinking. And so, yeah, I'm still scared to talk about it at times. Like I'll say, I'm sober, and people always assume alcohol. Like I'm like an alcoholic or something. And it's not true. I'm like a upper guy. Like I like things that will make me stimulated and shoot off dopamine. Like alcohol does that a little bit, but really not that much. It's more of a depressant. So, yeah, I mean, weed's, it's such I still don't know how I feel about it. All I know is that personally, when I use it, I get stuck in a loop where, if I use it, I'm going to wake up a little less sharp the next day. And then my mind's going to be like, there's something that could get me out of this hole, and it's weed. And then I just get stuck in a little circle, and I'm not even using that much at all. It was like one hit, but it was just, I don't know. It affected my mood drastically. I think I've definitely come to realize that I'm super sensitive to like all things like caffeine. I don't know why, but it's something that I think is a gift, but also I just have to stay attuned to that. Like it's unfortunate for me, but it's also maybe a benefit. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you feel that way about it, or like, what's your experience?
I think weed is a lot less harmful than alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up my lineage is a lot of alcoholics above me. So I've always had a pretty negative relationship with alcohol in terms of stay away.
Yeah.
And it's not, I do drink, but not a lot. I don't really enjoy it. But I think, marijuana is something where you're like, dude, I want to write a book, or I want to, go climb a mountain or whatever, And I think it's unfair that there is such a stigma about it, and I just, I don't know. It just drew me closer to you when I saw you talking about it. And I'm sure a lot of people felt that way.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. You've got 5 books sitting next to you.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about those. How did this stack come to be?
Well, it came to be because we were talking about what we should talk about on this podcast, but you were like, what are 5 books that have really impacted you? And yeah, I mean, these all came to mind as ones that, like, within them, each of them is like a kind of a big paradigm shift for me, something that I realized that changed my life. So that was the hope, is that I could share those, and they're all very worn in, but
they are very worn in. He is not a fraud, guys. He is reading these books. All right. We've got Nick Luebke. He's the founder of Constantly Curious Podcast, among other things. And he's going to go through his 5 most impactful books and the lesson associated with each. The first one we've got is The Inner Work by Matt and Ash. The takeaway being, I realized that my core wound is inadequacy. And so I've realized that a lot of my actions are rooted in the desire to be seen and to prove that I'm enough. I constantly check myself on that. Tell me about that.
Yeah, this is a great book called The Inner Work by Matt and Ash. So there's a lot of different wounds in this book that they talk about that you can kind of like identify with. And I think the core theme of all of them is that we just want to be loved in different ways. Like, we all want to prove somehow that we're enough. And so whether that's through relationships or achievements, or there's a bunch of different ways, but mine is inadequacy. And I'm going to read from it. It says, the wound of inadequacy becomes enslaving by creating the belief that we are lacking until we fill the void of our desire. By projecting our security, love, and joy externally onto the object of our affection, we simultaneously give away our power and freedom, shackling ourselves to the object. The wound of inadequacy can never get enough or actually be satisfied and content. Therefore, it cannot know true peace and security. Desire will always be chasing the horizon. If we place our happiness in desire, our happiness will always be one more thing away, one more accomplishment, one more dollar, one more milestone, one more sexual conquest, one more something. Our security and sense of empowerment will forever elude us, always feeling like there's a hole and a lack. This is the source of all of our suffering. So, yeah, deep. And
one more thing away.
Yeah.
Always.
Yep. And it just called me out in a way, because I've always been a person, you mentioned at the start of this podcast that like presence is, the determining factor of true like happiness and fulfillment. Like, if we're really present, a lot of people who are that way are very happy. This steals me away from being present. It's this idea that, like, if I can get that, then I'll be happy. If I can get this, then I'll be happy. And if I'm constantly like, to me, the chase is fun. Like, that's why I do that. But it steals me away from the moment as well. And so kind of recognizing this idea that, like, I was chasing this validation from the world to tell me that I am enough, and I do that through trying to achieve things, trying to attain things, trying to go see certain parts of the world or something. And I don't think it's all bad, but it's just like, why is that the fuel? And I have to just constantly check myself. It's like, I can use that motivation for good, or I can just be using it for Nick to prove to himself something. And it can steal me away from the things that really matter.
Wow. The chase.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine one of your chases was finding a wife. Is that fair?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
How did that feel when you, so to speak, locked that down?
Great, but like, it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. And it's But at the same time, it was hard because commitment is just a hard thing when you're in this mindset, because you're used to always thinking the next thing. And commitment requires like really difficult conversations, really, you got to go through the good things and the bad things together. And I just wasn't used to that. But it's been the best thing ever for me, understanding how to appreciate everything that I have and not always be chasing the next thing. It kind of like pulled me in. And my wife is like the most present, freaking just loves anything in front of her. Like, she's like, this is the best meal I've ever had. You guys are the best people in the world. Like, wherever she is, that's the best thing that's ever existed. And like, it's taught me so much about like just enjoying where you're at and the little things. It's cliche, but that's what I needed to learn. So
would you say that being present is the cure to inadequacy?
Yes, there actually is. It's one of them. I'll just paraphrase what I think it is. I think the cure for it is just realizing that I am loved as I am, and I don't need everyone to think I'm cool or great or anything. Like, it's just my worth is not determined by external validation, I guess is kind of the takeaway for me. And that's where kind of the idea of God really helped me out, being like, that's all I got to care about.
That's the North Star.
Yeah, that really helped me. So we'll get there.
Well said. The second book, Your Platform is Not Your Purpose, Blaine Fuhs.
Yeah.
The lesson being, impact is the point of life. Being a light is the goal. Not success or money. Impacting lives and loving others is what matters.
This book is not very well known. It's written by one of my best friends, actually, but he is a huge reason why I'm on this journey in general, why I'm sharing things on Instagram. He was kind of the one that shifted my mind into recognizing that I needed to just focus on impact, not Nick attaining things. It was just like, how can I make the world a better place? And it's cliche, but if you really do it, it works. So I want to read this passage that really affected me. It says, he believes that there is someone waiting on you. Imagine that on the day you were born, a number was appointed above your head representing the number of lives you were created to impact. It might be 3 or it might be 3 million. I don't know your number, but I believe there is one, and this number is your responsibility of lives to impact. There is someone in this world, perhaps tomorrow or 20 years from now, whom you were created to be a light to. It could be a stranger on the street, a coworker across the hall, or a family member at dinner. There's a lot more in there, but this idea of being a light, like Blaine talks about it all the time, but it's just the idea of just loving people around you. You're so good at it. You're already so good at this.
Thank you, man.
But that is just such a shift. I think I was just selfish, dude. Like I was always trying to figure out how can I make the life that Nick wants for Nick. And I was just missing the fact that like everything you want, or like money, for example, comes because you create amazing value for everyone around you. Like if I'm just thinking about how can Nick get money or whatever, or success, like that's all about me. And so this just, it put my focus outward into how can I love people and how can I be a light? And that is the mission. It's like, if I focus on that, everything else just falls into place.
It's so good. And when we started this conversation, it was, what kind of impact am I having on the follower? Not, hey, I'm doing this because I want to get a bunch of followers or likes or whatever, but it's, I actually want to make a difference.
Yeah. But like going off the wound of inadequacy thing is that I'm always fighting that line right there, because it makes me feel good to know that people are caring about what I'm doing. It feeds that wound of inadequacy in a way. And so I have to constantly check myself and be like, you are 100% doing this for people, not for yourself. And my wife's always checking me on it. Like it's a great test of, and I think I understand now why, like you can really see the character of a person if you give them, a platform, or you give them money, or you give them the success that they think they want. Like it could really bring out the worst, but you really have to work actively to like fight against those things. So yeah, I'm just always trying to come back to this of like, it's about impact. That's all that matters.
Wow. And that's my kind of book, man. That looks like it's about 120 pages.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's quick read, like 2 hours.
Good job, Blaine.
Yeah.
I just got this Barbara Streisand biography in the mail. Everyone's been talking about it. It showed up. Have you seen this book yet? 770 pages.
Oh, I hate that, dude.
Barbara. I want to learn about
her whole life.
I'm not reading it. I was like, oh, I just wasted my $30. I'm not reading it.
That's a lot. Maybe throw it on Audible, see if it's good enough.
47 hours.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah.
What is the perfect length of book?
I don't know.
Come on, just go.
120 pages.
Really? I'd say 320. I think 320, 280 to 320, I'm good.
Okay.
You start getting above 350, it's like you're doing like a 3-hour movie. Yeah. You lost me. I'm out.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that, but I'd probably go shorter.
Okay.
I just don't like fluff in books. I hate when they're like, just, it's clear that they're trying to add on to get to their
get to it, right? You're like,
it's like,
it could have been 5 pages. Siddhartha, like I mentioned, could have been 5 pages.
Yes.
I was really fighting through the first 150 pages just to get to the last 5 pages. Let's not do that.
I hate that.
Untethered Soul, perfect length. All right. Moving along. A New Earth, Eckhart Tolle.
Okay.
It helped me to see how trapped in my thinking I was and how to escape that.
Look at this puppy. We don't
the cover is ripped off.
And we got...
How many note markers are there?
Just
25?
Like probably more. Probably 40 notes. But I couldn't even find a passage that there's so many that I want to share that I wanted to just come up with like the synopsis of what I thought it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be a favorite.
It says, the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it.
Bam.
Very simple.
Wait, say that one more time.
The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it.
Come on.
There's so many things we could talk about here, but it's just very clear. You can have the same scenario and two people feel completely different about it. So it's clearly the difference is how they're thinking about it, and how we're viewing it. And this book it showed me, he references this idea of like, we are addicted to the mental chatter in our mind, and we just are constantly, it's a classic meditation principle, but he just talks about it in a wild way. And I remember, I'll never forget this moment when I was so overwhelmed and stressed out because I was like completely broke. I was valeting cars. I was trying to do music, and like I was so stressed about money. And my sister, who is Shelly is her name. She's like my soul sister. She's literally my sister too, though. She told me about this book, but she also told me to do this thing called like a mindful walk, which you've probably heard of, where you go on a walk and you just try and use all 5 senses and not think about anything other than like what you're experiencing. So like smelling, like you can feel the wind on your fingers. You just visual, like you're not thinking about anything other than what's right in front of you. And it was like the first time in a long time that I was just completely escaped from the mental chatter that was just like, it was causing me so much pain. Like this idea of like, how am I going to get enough money? How am I going to, like, what am I doing with my life? Oh my gosh. It was the first time that I like felt free of it for a moment. And I just kind of, by experiencing that, you recognize how much pain your own thinking is causing you. And it's almost impossible to become an expert at this. I know, monks like try and spend their whole life doing it, but just learning from this book how much pain my own thoughts were causing me allowed me to really be picky about my thoughts and which ones I choose to believe and which ones I give weight to.
Wow. Do you meditate right now?
Not right now. No, I go through seasons of doing it, but if I get really stressed out, I'll hop on a little 20-minute meditation. But no, I more so go on walks in the woods now, and I try and do that like mindful walk thing. But
using your 5 senses, completely trying to just be in the moment.
Mm-hmm. If I'm having like a day where my mind's just too much, like if I drink too much coffee, that's what I'm going to go do because I'm overwhelmed. But, or I'll just pray on a walk. But no, do you?
I just started again because I think the number one development opportunity for me is becoming less reactive. You know, somebody cuts you off in traffic, somebody says something to you at work or does a mistake. I think like choosing how you respond in moments of adversity is really character defining. And so I always want to be at my best self in those moments. And I've got a quick trigger, man. And I think meditation's probably the most effective thing.
To slow it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I talked to my friend Sanjeev Chopra a lot. He's a big meditation guy.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was talking to him last night, actually. And I said, Sanjeev, what has meditation given you? He said, nothing. He said, but it's removed anger, spite, reactivity, jealousy from my life. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
in.
worth it.
Yeah. Anything else on that?
No. Read it though.
Yeah. All right. A New Earth. Eckhart Tolle. Is your copy for borrow? I don't think it'll be standing after one more read.
Highlights don't even mean anything if you highlight everything.
Meaning of Marriage by Timothy Keller. Relationships are about dying to myself and serving my partner more than they're about me getting what I want.
This book rocked my world, dude. It completely shifted how I view relationships.
How'd you find it?
I don't know. I'm in a men's group, like Bible study, and I think someone recommended it. I really don't know.
Okay.
But I've gifted this book to like 30, 40 people.
Wow.
Because I think it is like the key to relationships, honestly. I was such a, like, relationships are all about what I'm getting, and I'm looking for someone who's going to check all my boxes, and I'm going to just always be happy because they're the perfect person for me. And I'm just so glad that this book put me in my place because it presents a different reason for happiness in marriage. And so I've got a couple things to read here. Destructive to marriage is the self-fulfillment ethic that assumes marriage and family are primarily institutions of personal fulfillment, necessary for us to become whole and happy. The assumption is that there is someone just right for us to marry, and that if we look closely enough, we will find the right person. This moral assumption overlooks a crucial aspect to marriage. It fails to appreciate the fact that we are always going to marry the wrong person. We never know whom we marry, we just think we do. Or even if we first marry the right person, just give it a while and he or she will change. For marriage, being the enormous thing that it is, means we are not the same person after we have entered it. The primary problem is learning how to love and care for the stranger to whom you find yourself married. And then it keeps going. The deep happiness that marriage can bring then lies on the far side of sacrificial service in the power of the Spirit. That is, you only discover your own happiness after each of you has put the happiness of your spouse ahead of your own, in a sustained way in response to what Jesus has done for you. Some will ask, if I put the happiness of my spouse ahead of my own needs, then what do I get out of it? The answer is happiness. That is what you get, but a happiness through serving others instead of using them, a happiness that won't be bad for you. It is the joy that comes from giving joy, from loving another person in a costly way. Today's culture of the me marriage finds this very proposal of putting the interests of your spouse ahead of your own oppressive. But that is because it does not look deeply enough into this crucial part of Christian teaching about the nature of reality. So yeah, that's the opposite of what I thought marriage was. And it just showed me that the point of marriage is to uproot the things in me that God is trying to remove from me. So like, if God's ultimate goal is for me to be as loving as possible, I need to remove pretty much all selfish things inside of me. And so marriage is like the best vehicle to do that. And it's amazing and it's difficult. And so I think it's amazing because it's difficult. Like, you get so close to someone because there's no one else in the world that you communicate so freaking honestly with. Like if you're doing it right, I think you're communicating about everything. And it's like, wow, this person actually knows everything, I think, which is nuts. And there's no one else that has that. And so, yeah, it's just been, I'm so lucky to have picked the wife that I picked because she's heard everything in my mind, and not everything in my mind is good. And she's given me the grace that, like, there's kind of a battle inside of me between the best version of Nick, the spirit, and then the flesh, which is like just these selfish desires inside of me. And she sees that. And so she's always giving me grace to like help me to get to that best version of myself.
So do you just try to be a river of consciousness to her? Or are you more thoughtful about when you bring up these maybe selfish or dark thoughts to her?
Definitely intentional about how I say everything. I've had to learn that. Definitely not just like pour everything out. But if I'm struggling with something, I have to find a way to say it to her that's, one, it's not going to hurt her. And then also just frame it as like, I'm struggling with this. Like, can you help me? Like even the smallest little fights where you would normally blame the other person. It's like, why do you even do that? It's so annoying. It's like shifting it to like, I'm just feeling overwhelmed about XYZ. Like, and that's why it's just pissing me off that like this is happening, whatever. Just learning to take ownership of like everything, I think, is what I've learned, and I got a lot of years to go. So I don't know.
I think that's great advice. Yeah. Hey, I'm feeling this way, or I maybe fell short on this, or help me understand how I did wrong. Not, hey, you're doing this.
And it sucks because that's vulnerable. Like to say, I'm sorry, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Like I have so much to do, and that's why it pissed me off that you asked me to do the dishes. That literally happened today. But it's like before I kind of recognized that marriage was like trying to uproot these things inside of me that stops me from being able to love others, I would have just taken that out on her, been like, why do you make me do this? Like, this is so dumb. Like, I shouldn't have to, but I have to like reflect and be like, why am I getting so worked up about this simple request that like, of course I should help her. So it's a mirror, dude. I'm sure you've heard that analogy, but it just shows you everything inside of you that needs to be uprooted. It's tough, but it's sick. It's unlike anything.
The best things are always the toughest.
I think so. I didn't realize that. I was just chasing pleasure for the longest time. But
Should we do the last one?
Let's do it.
Do you think people have heard of this book?
It's the #1 bestseller in the world.
The Bible, written by many.
Yes.
And Nick Luebke's takeaway from said Bible is to love God and to love your neighbor is the whole point.
Yes, sir. This was, so I grew up, my mom would take me to church, but I just had no idea why I needed to care about this. I was like, I want to go play soccer, or I want to go golfing. I don't care about this. But once I started to experience the struggles of life, that's when I started to look into this God in the Bible. And it has changed my life more than anything by far. And this was kind of my most like revelatory moment when I read this passage. So there's like the Pharisees and the Sadducees are kind of like the people who were super religious back in the day and kind of very strict about all the religious things that you needed to be following. And they were trying to stump Jesus. And so they said to him, "Teacher, which is the most important commandment in the law of Moses?" So they're trying to get him to say something incorrect so they can like charge him with a crime. Jesus replied, "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. The second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself. The entire law and all the demands of the prophets are based on these two commandments." And what hit me in that moment was like, this whole thing is about that. And like everything that, for people who don't believe in this or even do believe in this, it's like you can see it as a lot of like behavioral changes and like rules that we're supposed to follow, like don't have sex before marriage, all these just random rules, and they seem kind of random and controlling. But when I see this, that the whole point is to learn how to love your neighbor as yourself and to love God, like all of these rules are the creator just telling you, like, if you do this, it's going to make it harder for you to love people. It's going to make it harder for you to love me. Like, I know what hurts your soul because I made you. And so I'm just letting you know some things you should probably avoid because I'm your dad. Like my favorite analogy for this is that you maybe heard is like, if you have kids and you have a backyard, and then there's a creek like that's rapidly running in the backyard, like you're not just going to let your kids go play wherever they want because they'll run into the creek. Like if you build a fence, then they can play freely and they can within the boundaries that you know are safe because you know better because you're their father. And so it just helped me to see what the whole point of this was. And I think everyone can get behind that of just learning how to love people the best they possibly can.
Nick, your superpower is showing again. Making the complex simple.
Thanks, man.
And you do that so well.
Thank you.
The 5 books. Thank you for walking us through them.
Yeah, dude. I want to know before we end what's been the biggest takeaway you've had from doing these podcasts? Like, what have you learned about the human experience?
I think for so long, I think the biggest compliment that somebody can get is that they're interesting. I've always found that to be a huge compliment.
That's a good point.
And if I'm like interested in a girl that I see at a restaurant or a party, I'm always like, people are always like, what's your opening line, right? Or like, what do you go up with? In my heart, I just want to be like, hey, I think you look so interesting. I want to get to know you. I think some girls are off put by that, but I think the right girl finds it extremely flattering.
Yeah.
Because that to me, that's so much better than being beautiful or attractive or charming. Yeah. You have depth.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to be interesting. And I think part of me is like, that's why, you travel. It's why I'm learning how to fly, right? There's some ego involved in that.
Totally.
And what I've learned through the podcast is that if you want to be interesting, be interested.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's the best I've got for you after 61 episodes, brother.
Oh, wow. That's good, man. It's so real. I actually met my wife during a time when my buddy Ryan and we had read How to Win Friends, Influence People, and it's all about just being genuinely interested in people.
That's a great book.
I'm sure you know that
I love
book.
that one.
It's unreal. But we would go places and we would just talk to everyone and we would ask them questions. And it just taught me so much about humans, like that everyone has a story. Everyone has like something they're chasing or like a secret little dream in their heart that they don't talk about. Like if you just ask genuinely curious questions, it makes human connection so much stronger and you actually get to experience like the depth, like you said.
And I think also, man, it showed me that anything that you feel in your heart that you want in your life, it's going to happen through manifestation, through time. It will happen. I wanted it with the podcast. I so badly wanted the opportunity to interview people. And it was probably for 5 or 6 years, Nick, that I had that in my heart before I actually did something about it. And to your point about becoming sober, I felt like an idiot. I felt like a loser. I felt like I was a failure because I wasn't doing anything about it. So be kind to yourself while it's coming together and enjoy the ride of it, right? Enjoy the chase. Dr. John Holcomb, this Black Hawk Down trauma surgeon that I had on recently, extraordinary guy. And the first call I had with him a year ago, trying to get him on, bro, he was so cold to me and so short. I was like, oh, I'm never getting this guy on. And he's like a dream guest. Fast forward a year, the guy was in my parents' kitchen 2 weeks ago eating sweet corn with me. You know what I mean? Like, who would have thought, right? So I think it's just enjoying the ride, having faith, and setting your intentions right, because it will happen.
And what made you actually start it? Like, what did you learn from thinking about it for years and then finally starting it? How would you do if you have another idea like that? What are you going to do differently?
Dude, I think for me, it's environment. I think your environment is everything. You know, like growing up, I always had this tease of learning how to fly planes. But I was always like, man, I that could never be me. That would be way too scary. I'm not capable of that. No way. And then I started hanging out with people who fly their own planes. And eventually that rubs off on you. And you spend enough time around them. And then all of a sudden there's this window of opportunity in front of you and you just strike. And so that's been a 10-year goal. And now I'm, 15 hours in to learn how to fly planes. I got to get 40. That's been something I'm 30 now. I've been thinking about that since I was probably 17.
That's such a good nugget there. Like they make it less scary because you're like, you're doing it.
Yeah, you're doing it. Then I probably could too. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Congrats.
Yeah, brother.
Let's fly.
Let's do it, man. Will you get in with me when I learn it? Exactly. I love he won't. He doesn't trust me.
I will.
I love asking friends that. I got 2 lists. That they will, they won't. I'm killing all the won't people. You're all done. Let's get a plane. We'll fly into a Frank Lloyd Wright house in Wisconsin. We'll see where you grew up.
That sounds fun.
And we'll do another podcast once you hit 100 episodes.
In the plane.
Please. Once I figure out the audio in that thing, I'm doing it.
Asking questions while you're like hitting all the buttons.
I'm doing it. Hey, they got autopilot once you're in the air, man. Constantly Curious. Check it out, everybody. He's got 6 episodes so far. Probably 1,000 to go. You're going to have a president of the United States on there by episode 100. And when's your book coming out?
Today, I actually sent out a pitch to all the publishers.
Let's go. Today?
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
And you saying what you just said had me thinking about that, because interviewing these authors has made me, like, I talked to all of them about like writing a book because I'm so scared of doing it. I'm like, it's so much work. And they're like, no, it's not that bad, dude. Like, you can get through it. It'll be great. You'll learn so much. And just being around them has made me like, all right, let's do it.
Give me goosebumps.
It's exactly what you just said. And that just clicked with me because of how you phrased it. So if I ever want to do anything, I'm going to get around people who have done it. That's so good, dude.
Be with these people who believe in you more than you believe in yourself. I know everyone says believe in yourself more than everybody else. Dude, I don't know if that's the case. I think you're onto something there, brother.
I'm walking away with something today.
Dude, thank you for doing this, man.
Yeah.
This was fun for me. All right. God bless you, brother.
You too.
That's it. Thank you so much for tuning in to Permission to Shine, the podcast dedicated to sharing the most humble, inspiring stories that I know you will love. Again, this is Andrew Nemani. I appreciate you tuning in. As always, please reach out. Please follow on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, Spotify, Apple. Leave us your thoughts. Let us know who you want as a future guest or what's your takeaways from this conversation. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great, great week.